Hey vinyl community, how you doing? How you doing? Well, today's a special day. I'm going to show some fun stuff. This video actually is dedicated to Paulo. Hey Paulo, how you doing? And also Matthew Street. Hey Matt, how's it going? They both have expressed interest in wanting to see my Paul McCartney fan club stuff. So, I've got my passport and we are ready to go to see Paul McCartney. And this is actually an official Paul McCartney. When I joined in late 77, really 78. But these are actually very, very rare. But this is a whole write-up about Paul McCartney. But these are slides. And I'm sorry, you really can't see them, but these are slides. The first one is Paul. Actually, no, I take it back. The top one up here is Denny Lane, Paul and Linda, Paul McCartney, and then Paul by himself holding a guitar. And I'm sorry, I don't think it's going to come out. But anyway, that's really pretty cool. So I will show you some of the stuff that I've got. That was kind of neat from Paul McCartney's fan club. This is a Paul McCartney bag that you got. This is from 78, Paul McCartney bag. That's very neat. Then this is a Paul McCartney entry form. So if you wanted to buy something, these are the fun items you could have bought back then. But this is actually the cool part. This is the stuff you could buy back then of Paul. I was 15, 16 years old, and my parents wouldn't let me buy anything like this. It was they just thought it was kind of crazy to buy anything. And then next up, I've got this. Then this kind of shows Paul's albums as of the time. Back up here. And there's nothing on the back. Anyway, that kind of folded up like that. I'm not sure how I am going to do this because I backed up a little bit to show the actual McCartney magazines. And I don't know how much of this I'll be able to show, but there's that. I just may show just a few pictures here and there because this is going to be too hard to do every single page. But that's kind of cool. They did color and black and white. This was a very, very home magazine. Linda took the pictures and Paul, in the early days when I first started getting it, Linda took the pictures and Paul wrote the articles. So talk about a homespun magazine. But that was kind of the way it was done. And Paul was big into Buddy Holly, so he always had what was called Holly Days. Then he talked about his video, Press to Play. Sorry about the noise with really noisy with the stuff here. And then this is you could send away for these, which actually, I think these are the postcards that I sent away for. And then talk about Rock Show. All right. Sorry to be so noisy, boys and girls. All right, next one is this one, Paul McCartney. And this one, I probably won't show every page, like I said. I've got stacks of these. And talking about making the video Pretty Little Head. You know, back then also a lot of this was done in the fact that there wasn't internet. So a lot of this information we found out from when Paul did his magazine. You know, that such and such was going on and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of how we found out about it. See if there's any more color. That's kind of that's a cool picture. But all of these are in absolutely fantastic mint condition. Beatle Brad has not split these apart. The early ones didn't have staples in them. As they got towards The later stuff they did start to get staples, but this a lot of these didn't. And here's another one. Back of that as well. So every one of these are not torn, and every one of these are in very good shape. Some of these were actually not as thick as they some of the other publications, like this one. This is just like a 4-fold magazine. So I mean, as you can see, that's the end of that one. Then there's this next one in the back. This is Paul. He's doing concert. I said I had a little tricky holding these. Press to play stuff. As you know, this is a cool picture. This is all during the time of. That's the picture for the 12-inch. And Tina Turner. Let's see. There are a couple black and white shots. Let's see. You getting that in there? I'm sorry. Hopefully, if you want, maybe you could pause on your own looking at this, because, like I said, these will just go on for a while. Then they're talking about the cover art for some of the records. These were really full. I really enjoyed these. I kind of miss them. Anyway, that's that one. I kind of miss them. They were fun. Fun to have and to get. I have to back up a little bit, but this is during Tug of War. And then on the back, you can send your picture of you doing the drawing. And this is Paul and Ringo when they did the Cooler, the video. People could send in their own pictures of what they drew of Paul. This is I'm going to have to back up a little more for this, but this is kind of neat. Like I said, see, this is not together. The early ones did not go together. They weren't stapled. Then this is the middle with a centerfold. Centerfold. But yeah, it's the Tug of War poster picture. Then this is Paul writing, and let's see if I could do this. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do this right. Paul, and then this is him doing the talking about the video. Making of that. Okay. That's for Ebony and Ivory. I couldn't see what it was when I was backed up so much, trying to hold it and show it to you. That's kind of neat. Alright, so that's Tug of War, so that's kind of cool. Then also I kept all of my McCartney newsletters that were sent to me about different things that were being done. At that time, like I said, so I got letters to, actually one of these letters, it's not this one, but one of the letters I've got is an advertisement saying about the Russian album. And now, well, here it is. I think this is it. But this is one of the letters that I got. This is this is it here. This is the only way then you could get the Russian album was through the fan club. And I bought my Paul McCartney Russian album, vinyl, was through the fan club. And that's how I bought mine. Another Paul McCartney newsletter. And then I got a real handy dandy cool postcard. That's neat. I'm going to go quickly here because this is it's another letter. And then Paul McCartney, when he was on 48 Hours, this is kind of how they let you know that he was coming up to be on TV. Here's actually a second letter, and the whole letter's in here about Paul McCartney going to be on 48 Hours. There's my letter. And then talking about 48 hours and what they're going to discuss. This is kind of like the promotional release head letter. The other one is the letter letting me know when it's going to be on. And this is kind of a renewal slip to let you know, Paul McCartney, your magazine's over, so you need to renew. That's another McCartney. I just put that on the ground, but this is when I could get my tickets for Flowers in the Dirt, which I just discussed a few minutes, last video actually, video before. And this is the entry form for seeing Paul McCartney. Filled that out. Got to go see Paul, but this was the entry form, or the fill out form to go see him. And then these are the original. I even kept these. This is how they sent you the magazine originally, and this was in a fold. And sometimes they would say, Paul McCartney, Tug of War. They'd say Paul McCartney, Pipes of Peace. Stuff like that. This is years ago. But see, there's Paul McCartney. But yeah, they sent them out in these things. So they came very folded and very messed up. And this is another thing that I sent away for and got it from the McCartney fan club. So that's kind of neat. I kept this, the mailer. And this is the flyer letting you know that they're changing paper and being biodegradable. Then this is for give my regards to the broad on the street. Give my regards to the Broad Street. I've seen this car. When I went to Bewley in England, at the car museum in Bewley, that was there. Yeah, so cool. This is another one that doesn't have staples in it. This is kind of all kind of put together. Not put together, excuse me. And then Paul shows, this is cool, Paul shows pictures of him being a lad from Liverpool, the Beatles. Once in a while they did Beatle pictures, and that was kind of neat. And then this one, Paul with Michael Jackson. That's kind of neat. All right. And this kind of talks about what he did for 82, what kind of year it was. I'm trying to see if we can see that. Anyway, let me get out of this. This is, well, not get out of this, so let me move on here. There's just more reading, more articles, pictures towards the back. Like I said, it's kind of hard doing this, doing newspapers. All right, we're going to do time for one more. This is during Tug of War. In the back. This is a whole thing of the write-up during Tug of War. This is kind of neat. I got my letter. Let me show you this. This is cool. And I'll end up down here at the bottom. This video was shot in California, and I've got Beatle Brad has got his newsletter saying, if you can make it to California, here's your invitation to be in this video. So if you watch this video, everybody who's in the audience, if you see them holding cameras and all that kind of stuff, dancing around with the song, that was exclusively for the fan club. So everybody who was in that video is from the Paul McCartney fan club, and that was shot in California. And I didn't live anywhere near California, and I begged my parents, I asked my parents, and they wouldn't take me. They would not take me to California. Can you imagine that? So anyway, there's that picture. Like I said, I showed again, and it's in color. And that was cool, to get the invitation to go do that. And there's this. And Rupert the Bear. Sorry, I'm kind of going quickly on this. A whole thing in here about Linda's calendar. But anyway, look at this to fold. All right, let's go set it down. All right, vinyl community, I'm going to stop there because I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've got a lot more McCartney stuff to show. I really do. So there's some surprises coming up in my McCartney stuff. I know it's kind of fast. But anyway, I hope you appreciated it. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know, comment what you thought about my Paul McCartney stuff. And I've got more to come. So stay tuned, vinyl community. Talk to you later. Take care.